This video will contain spoilers for both of the Smile movies, so if you haven't seen them by now, then go see them. At the end of Smile 2, Sky Riley became fully possessed by the Smile entity and disconnected in front of thousands, maybe even millions of people, which in turn meant that the Smile entity could infect more hosts. But a question remains on why the Smile entity would do this in the first place. First of all, we know one of the Smile entity's goals is to inflict as much pain and suffering on a host as possible, whilst simultaneously taking over their souls. This has been shown through countless events in the first movie, and then further displayed in the second. We can also draw another conclusion, which is that the Smile entity wants to affect as many people as possible. In the first movie, Laura Weaver, the PhD student, sees her professor kill himself, which affects her, and then Laura kills herself in front of the main character, Rose Cotter, who then becomes the next host for the Smile entity. This paper trail of infections leads all the way up to Smile 2, when Sky Riley, a famous pop star, has to deal with the consequences of Rose's actions. It can be inferred that the reason the Smile entity hopped from person to person was so that they could infect someone who had access to a large audience. But if we're going with that theory, then how does that make sense? Before we get into the next train of thought, however, make sure you subscribe so you never miss a speculation video like this one. Now, where were we? The Smile entity has only been shown to infect one person at a time, and if it had the ability to infect multiple hosts, then it would have done so by now. The ultimate question then is why the Smile entity chose to kill itself in front of thousands of people. A simple answer could be that it was following the natural trajectory of things. The entity had to be passed on one way or another, so the fact that it latched onto Sky and the fact that a psychotic break coincided with her performance was purely coincidence. It could have been anyone. But her death also exposed the entity's identity to the world. I mean, you seriously can't tell me that a woman smiling like the Joker and bashing her head with a microphone isn't the result of some S-rank demon.
She's an S-rank demon!
So it's safe to assume that after Smile 2, people started speculating more about the entity. Yes, some people would think Sky killed herself because she was a traumatized junkie, but others would think otherwise. People like the guy who helped Sky would start popping up more and more, posting their findings on forums like Reddit and Twitter. Eventually the entity would almost become a meme. I can even imagine guys like Drewski making skits on it, but the ones who are really deep in the stuff will form some sort of society to combat this threat. This leads me to why I believe Smile 3 will be about. After the knowledge of the entity going viral, a group of, let's say, 4 zealots go on a quest to find the origins of the Smile entity and kill it once and for all. Kinda like It 2 when they went back and like researched the origin and then they spawned like that turtle demon, whatever, I don't know. But anyway, that's cool. But if it were to happen, then why did the entity set itself up for failure to begin with? I could see that the entity wanted to be killed for some reason, which would lead to a whole nother set of questions, so I'll just say this. The Smile entity is like a primal creature that only wants to inflict suffering on a deep emotional level. It doesn't have any other goals besides that. It doesn't have much intelligence, and maybe that's what makes it truly terrifying. If you want me to dive deeper into this rabbit hole, then like, comment and subscribe for a part 2, and I'll see you in the next one for more speculation and analysis videos.
Everything is possible in your life when you believe. When you believe, everything is possible. You have a tool.